This episode of The Secrets Women Keep is brought to you by my luxuriously bespoke, discreet, and personal one-to-one container, The Turned On Woman. The Turned On Woman is the way for you as a leader and woman in authority to unleash your true woman on top that's satisfied, successful, and totally turned on in her power. Experience, embody, elevate. Welcome to the Secrets Women Keep podcast. I am your secret keeper and confidant, Lauren White. I'm a qualified counsellor and sexologist, facilitator of all things turn on, author of Permission, and a witty, highly intuitive lounge room dancing introvert. I help you as an exceptional woman in entrepreneurship to see, love, and trust all the parts of yourself, especially the unseen. Let's pull back the curtain, light the candelabra, and lift the veil. These are the secrets women keep. Hello, and welcome to the Secrets Women Keep. I am your host and confidant, Lauren White, and this topic is very close to my heart and very, very close to the fire that resides within my pelvis. I love this topic, but it isn't always on my mind because I'm not always in it. But when I am in it, it is the only thing I can think about. I want you to know exactly how you can acclimatise to more when you are wanting to upgrade your life and the personal experience of your life. It does not happen from you doing nothing. No one is here to rescue you and swoop in and give you all of the upgrades that you desire to take you into the echelons of luxury and opulence that you dream about and you drool about when you watch TV and you immerse yourself in beautiful spaces. It is not going to happen. No one is coming. It is on you. This episode is all about exactly how you can acclimatise to more so that you can improve the quality of your life. To be clear, it is an acclimatization process as though you were scaling a mountain or doing deep sea diving. You need to be prepared for the fact that you're going to wobble. You are going to have your own version of the bends. You are going to feel sick. You are going to want to hide. You are going to break out into a cold sweat and ask yourself, what the fuck did I just do? You will. Those wobbles are inevitable. They are inevitable when you are stretching to taste new edges within yourself. If you don't wobble, you are not going to get the same degree of experience or learning that you're looking for. If it all just feels super easy, then your results aren't going to be as extraordinary or as magnificent compared to when you stretch that little bit further. And I know that you are here for the stretch. You are not here to lie on your deathbed and say, I'm so glad I played it safe. I'm so glad I didn't try. I'm so glad I stuck to what I knew. I'm so glad that I chose all the options that felt comfortable to me. It does not make for an exquisite memoir where the pages are dripping with your lust for life. Here are 5 ways that you can acclimatise to more in your life. The first thing is you need to decide and claim it. It cannot come to you if you're not clear on what the more is. What is the more? Is it more of a sensation? Is it more of an experience? Do you want more of a physical object of desire in your life? Get so clear on it so that you can claim it, so that you can dream about it, so that you can position yourself to be surrounded by it and influenced by it, it really does rewire your brain for what it is that you want. So think about it. Feel into it. What would it be like to already be in the presence of the thing that you want, the thing that feels like more? So many people just want to skip this step. You have to sit with it because it's in this first step that you're already acclimatizing. What will happen if you skip this and don't decide and don't fantasize about it and don't be brazen enough to say to people, this is what I want, is that you'll go after it and you'll sabotage it. It will just fall flat because you haven't marinated in the possibility of it yet. So take that first step of deciding and claiming really seriously. Write it out, speak it out. This is you already acclimatizing as though you've started your ascent on the mountain or your descent into the ocean. The second thing you need to do is that you need to start getting out of your familiar spaces, your home, your office. You need to go and access the spaces that represent more to you so that you can acclimatize to them. Most people are too scared to even go into the stores, the hotels, the restaurants that represent more to them. You need to start surrounding yourself in environments that are going to turn you on and have you energetically aligned to them. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. The principles of energetics require congruence, and they ask for the inside and the outside to match to create an exquisite sensory experience. You need to go first and put your physical body into the spaces that feel expansive to you so that you can sit in them, bask in them, take them in, and reprogram your brain to consistently seek them out. A lot of people will not allow themselves to do this because they automatically assume that they need to part with money to do this. Yes, there will definitely be occasions where you need to part with money to do something like that. But it's fascinating when you step out of assumptions and you do a little bit of research and work out how you can go to these places and be in these spaces, it will surprise you. So many are free or extremely low cost. So don't use money as an excuse. Expanding and acclimatizing to more is about already deciding that you are abundant and that you have the means and that you are an excellent energetic match for these spaces. Try it out. Trust me on this one. And what happens is you just keep moving the bar in a really beautiful way. You go, oh, I'm worthy of this. And then you see the next thing and you say, oh, I'm worthy of that. And then you allow yourself to go into the next space and you go, yeah, I'm worthy of this. And all of a sudden, the spaces that you're in are just so far beyond what you dreamed about a year, 2 years, 5 years ago. The third thing is, and this is individual or maybe even contextual, you'll need to decide on a case-by-case basis. You need to choose whether you go for the big leap for what represents more, or you do what's known as incrementally upgrading. There are pros and cons to both. Big leaps can invite in really big rewards and returns. It's like, whoa, you've just leapt to this level and you've created a whole new world of standards for yourself. What can happen though, and sometimes the energy, and oftentimes it depends, but the energy will follow that and be like, oh, they've decided, yes, well, they're only available for this now. We're going to keep moving in those circles with that individual. Another thing can happen though, just a word of warning. If you take a massive leap that feels incredibly stretchy and scary, sometimes your subconscious will sabotage and it will go, wait a minute, too much, too soon, too unfamiliar, therefore I will contract. And you could well find yourself back in the place that you started from. A word of warning. I personally do a mix of both incremental upgrades and big leaps. And the one thing that helps me to decide which approach I should take is how good the energy feels, how true it feels, how much I know my future self is going to be thanking me for taking that leap. There's no easy answer to that. It really is a case-by-case basis, and it depends on how true it feels for me in the moment to make a massive leap, or whether I feel there's going to be a more sustainable learning edge met by incremental upgrades. It also depends on how much the thing taps into my values. If it really ticks all the boxes of turning me on for my values of satisfaction and intimacy and connection, then I'm more likely to make a really big leap. Whereas if it doesn't, I'm more likely to do incremental upgrades. The fourth thing you need to do to acclimatize to more and more is to have supports in place. For when you inevitably wobble, it is inevitable when you stretch that you will wobble. When you have adequate supports in place, you collapse the timeline so that you don't stay in the wobble. The problem is never that the wobble happens, that you freak out, that you break out into the cold sweat, that you feel sick to your stomach, that you start questioning every single action you've ever taken. The wobble itself is not the problem. It's how you pep talk yourself through it and how quickly you can receive exceptional levels of support so that you feel heard and you can move through it in a swifter way. That is the point. And only quality support will do that. This is what I do for my clients. The wobble is never the problem. Never. It's all about the reaction to the wobble and what you make it mean and how you allow it to keep influencing your decision-making process from there. Oh, well, this happened, so it must mean I can't trust myself. And if I can't trust myself, then I can't make decisions. And if I can't make decisions, then I should step back and let other people do it. No. That spiral happens fast. And how do I know? I've been in those spirals before. Naturally, whenever I've needed to acclimatize to a new stage of growth and a new opportunity for expansion. I give myself the biggest pep talk and I receive immediate support when I'm in that. And that's exactly what my high-end one-to-one clients are able to receive when they're in the thick of it. This changes the game and it changes the trajectory because you can move on and get back to the truth of why you decided to make this big up level in your life, and you can very quickly get back to a state of trust. And it's in trust that you are magnetic, that you are sovereign, that you are eros embodied, that you are totally turned on and in the authority of your work and your life. Without this, you go into your little girl, you make poor decisions, you hand over the power to other people. You forget who the fuck you are. No, not available for that. A wobble is just a wobble, and it's a natural, expected part of acclimatizing to more. And there's a massive difference between moving through it in 3 hours or doing nothing, keeping it all in, and then having it derail your progress and totally turn you off showing up for yourself. Huge difference. Those kinds of setbacks can last months and years, and that is not something that you can afford. You need to keep acclimatizing. That brings me to my fifth and final point. Don't stop. Do not stop acclimatizing to more. The risk is that you will return to where you started from. To be clear, I don't believe we ever go backwards in life. The way I visualize it is more of a stop-start process. Like you've grown, and if you contract, you return to the foundation that you were at when you started this particular chapter of growth. So I'll never use language like you've gone backwards, or all I'd say to you is you've contracted and you've gone back to a place that feels familiar to you, but you've not unlearnt anything. This is what is so exciting about growth and expansion, is that the learning is there. It's already in your body and in your energetic system for you to refer back to. You can't unlearn it in the best possible way. So if you stop and you do return to where you started energetically, I'd almost debate that. You've got another life experience under your belt. There's something that you've learnt from it. Nothing is a failure, a fuck up, or a mistake. And the really, really illuminating thing is that if you resumed your acclimatization for more, you have that muscle memory already. So you pick up speed and do things a little quicker than you did them the last time. It's really exciting. And it's all on you. And this is where we have the power. This is where we have the true definition of control and where we can intervene in our own lives. Now that you know the 5 ways to acclimatize to more, you need to go out there and actually take these steps. Do not just keep passively listening to podcasts and taking in social media content, hoping it augments something inside of you and the thing miraculously appears. This is a huge call to take the action. This is what my private clients are doing. This is what the women in my group programs are doing, and every woman who shows up to my event. It's the women that make the energetic exchange of money, that are making the big sufficient leaps that are required to shine bright, because there's nothing worse than being ordinary. If you are a leader, a public figure, or an authority that feels like she should have worked all of this out already, but hasn't, and you require a safe and discreet container to refine how you show up as the woman who oozes subtle sovereign action, the woman who has an unrelenting magnetic pull, and the woman who has an air of eros that feels completely at ease every single moment of your existence, consider this a call to become the turned on woman. Get ready to step into my magical world and be fortified to facilitate your own personal revolution. A revolution to curate a life that feels as successful on the inside as it appears on the outside. As a qualified counselor and sexologist, I've delved deep into the echelons of womanly allure and mystery so that you don't have to. In having seen myself, I see you, all of you, and some women can't handle that. I know you can handle it. The truth is, you're here because you want someone who goes above and beyond the mesosphere, someone who can hold an expanded vision, someone just like you. The only difference between you and I right now is that I've gone through the painstaking process of removing the metaphorical mask that held me back from being fully expressed, integrated, and completely in flow. I want to show you what's possible, and the secret is it doesn't have to be hard, long, or arduous to become all those things. It also doesn't, and won't, happen sitting on hard yoga floors, denying yourself the luxury of what feels elevated, lush, and opulent for you. Your desires are never denied, and your version of luxury is always seamlessly weaved into every part of the process. Your total turn-on is the centerpiece of everything we do. To be considered as an applicant of the Turned-On Woman, apply now through the link in the show notes, or to skip the queue, DM me on Instagram to start the best conversation you've never had.